Alright, I played a chess tournament. 3 games? Let's get it. I'm playing white in the first game. I got e4, e5, knight f3, a6, e3. I love playing the Alapin because Levy taught it. Takes, d4, e6. And kind of the whole point of the Alapin is that I want to take back. I like taking back with the queen because then I have this 3-on-2 on the queen side. And I also have really easy development. Like if I get my bishops to point in this direction, very, very powerful position. So I like playing the Alapin. Plays e6, bishop e3, takes, queen takes, knight takes. And here my opponent played knight to e7. And keep in mind that I was playing like an 8-year-old in this tournament. So like when I saw knight e7, I was like, oh shoot, this kid is serious. Because knight e7 is like a really high level move, not going knight f6, even though it's the best move. Knight e7 is really good because you're supporting knight c6 with this knight, and you're allowing it to jump to better squares, unlike if the knight was on f6. So I saw this, I was getting pretty nervous. He played knight d2, he played knight c6, and now I'm a little bit better. The reason why he shouldn't have rushed with knight c6 and instead should have gone knight d5 is because when my opponent plays knight c6, I play knight c4, and all of a sudden I have this knight d6 move here, and it gets really, really annoying for the rook and the bishop to develop. So you first had to attack my bishop first, get your bishop out, castle, and then get all the other pieces out. Because when you allow my knights to get in and potentially harass your rook, you're losing time, and that's very important, especially since you made such a big commitment going here. You have to make sure that, well, you're fast with your development. So in this case, I took, played knight to f5, I played bishop to e5. I had a huge threat. If my opponent plays a random move like h5, knight b6, and it's game over. Rook b8, I take. Rook a7, I just take here. So I'm already threatening to win a piece now. Now my opponent plays bishop c5, and here I saw 2 really good moves. I saw b4, and I saw g4. Now g4 is good because, well, you're kicking the knight away from this pawn, right? And b4 is good because, well, if the bishop gone here, the bishop gets here to defend against the knight b6 threat. Right now I can't play this because, of course, bishop takes. So b4 is like a kicking away move, and essentially the bishop is forced to go all the way back here, where it's kind of like clumped up. All his pieces are like clumped up, and I was ready to take advantage of it by potentially putting both my bishops like this. It gets really annoying for him. I played b4, bishop a7, and then I played g4. Here my opponent played a really good move, f6. The best move. If knight anywhere, let's say knight here, I already have bishop takes here, and then like bishop f6. Bishop f6, castle, I have knight potential discoveries, like if let's say knight g6, I already can castle. Besides the mate, like I have knight forks, I have knight discoveries everywhere. So this is just honestly a really good position, as well as bishop g2, right? Everything's opened up. So I really like g4 and b4 by me, f6. Takes, and here my opponent played castles. When I saw this move, I was kind of panicking a bit. I thought I was actually in a worse position here because all of a sudden, if I move my bishop back, he moves his knight, and all of a sudden there is a lot of pressure on the f2 pawn. So I started getting really nervous here. I moved my bishop back, and honestly, I was thinking I didn't play bishop here because I thought that bishop g5 was good because I'm able to maybe retreat back to the e3 square to counteract this bishop, but I was thinking about h6 here, and honestly, I would not, like, I was kind of scared. I did not really know what I would do after h6. Like, I thought takes, I had to take, but then I did not know what to do here. I would have kind of panicked here, because honestly, here, takes and castles, right? His pawns are really strong. He gets to develop his pieces. His rooks go to the center. So this is very good position for him, even though it's still equal. It's still slightly better for me. Bishop h6. He takes the pawn, and then king e2. Now, here, takes the bishop, of course, and now I played this bad move, knight to e5. I thought this was actually a good move at first, because he wants to play e5. Like, if I just play a random move, like, not h3, like, let's say here, see, e5 is one of the moves, because it opens up this bishop, right? So, because I play knight e5, now I can't move the pawn, and I wanted his pieces to kind of be stuck here. But now he plays bishop a7. Now all of a sudden, his rook's getting in. Play a lousy move like h4, his rook is getting in. A king has to go to the back rank, which is so ugly. And now he could start breaking out. He could already start playing b5 and breaking out of everything because now my bishop can go to g2. So I really did not like this, and I thought I have to escape from this ruck somehow. Why not just move out the way with my king? It seems like a crazy move, but I realized that his pieces, he still needs a couple of moves to activate his pieces. So yeah, the king b3, he still played rook f2 here, and I thought, okay, if I just bring my knight back, maybe trade a little bit of rooks, that's going to be fine. I was expecting bishop b8, which after that I would play knight f3, but he played rook back, and all of a sudden now I started feeling the tide turning. Rook f1, rook d8, king c2, and b5, plundered the rook, and suffice to say, he did not really survive, but this was one of the toughest opponents I've ever played, so it was a really tough game. I think ultimately it was the b4 and g4 move that got me to win this one. And yeah, 98% accuracy, so pretty good game. On to game 2. Alright, d4, d5, f3, knight f6, g3. Alright, I'm actually playing with the black pieces here, so I should probably switch the board. Alright, opening is fine. c4, I castled. Says it's an inaccuracy. I should have delayed castling a bit. Played c6, potentially bring my queen out first. Counteract his queen to b3 move. That was probably why, because queen b3, then I have queen b6. But if I castle, now he's queen b3, I can't play queen b6. Now it's a little bit annoying to defend this pawn. Castles, knight b2, c6. Now I'm playing, c4. Now I play c6, and knight bd7, rook e1, trying to play e4. And honestly, I thought about playing g5 here. Alright, I know that it seems a little bit crazy, but I realized that unlike a typical, maybe like a London position where you could just plop the knight on e5, here the knight really does not have anywhere good to go. Like if I play g5, you might have to play like king h1 or something, bring the knight back like here. Because honestly, this knight is in a really bad spot. Like if he just plays here, g4, knight e1, and it's like, what's even going on here? So I really thought about g5, but I ultimately didn't decide to do it because, I realized that I want to play rook c8 because I feel like focusing on this side is really important, especially since white is probably mainly going to be focusing on the queen side. So rook c8, c5, I bring my queen back, potentially maybe bring my rook back here to play b6, open up everything. Played e4, very good move. You have to strike back in the center. Takes. I played e5. I thought this was a really clever move. Takes, I have knight c5 first, forking. Played rook c1, I took. And now I played rook e8. Try to trade away the rooks because my rook isn't doing anything. This rook is doing something. So trade a bad piece for a good piece, right? Rook e8, queen e3, trade, and I played queen e5. I honestly thought I was winning a pawn here. I thought that I was winning a pawn here. Alright. Now, I was honestly scared. For the last couple of moves, I was honestly scared of him playing knight f5. If he played knight f5, any of these moves, I do not know what I would have done. Traded, probably moved the rook there, and then I do not know what I was going to do. Alright? Because, the knight is just getting to d6, and it is very annoying to play. But, luckily he did not do that idea. Played queen e5. I thought it was actually, initially I thought about taking back with the bishop, right? But then, I was like, okay, but then his knight goes back. If the bishop takes, his rook gets in, right? Bishop a3, here, knight c5, here. I saw this, some variation like this, I don't remember the exact, but I saw something like this, and I was like, oh shoot, this guy has a pawn for a c pawn, but I'm not up any material at the end of the day, right? So I did not go for bishop takes, I went for knight takes instead. Played b3, and I actually thought this was a clever move at first, because rook d1, and, he's not really, he loses the c5 pawn. Engine says it's pretty bad, but I thought it was pretty clever, because I really did not see any other move here. Engine says knight b3 somehow defends everything, like with rook c4. You still lose a pawn at the end of the day, so I guess you don't lose a pawn. Wow, that is one really crazy variation. Wow. Alright, but he didn't spot knight b3. Knight d3. He played rook c4, that was a blunder. I found knight b2, a5, and I dislodged the knight from the rook. See, the rook had to defend the knight because my bishop was attacking it. So when I go knight b2, now I'm dislodging it from this defense. If he moves the rook back, I take, bishop guards the knight, rook here, and this is just clean up through. So takes, rook d8, he plays a3, and then I slowly maneuvered my bishop to the d4 square because I knew that would belong here. Right? I just knew that along with my knight and this bishop, it's going to pressure the f2 pawn while also guarding this b pawn from potentially, advancing. Now, it was really important in this position right here for me to play rook d8, because I knew that white's plan was to go bishop d5 and potentially cause some annoyances. If I played a lazy move like bishop b4, let's just say rook b8, bishop d5, rook f8, now the game becomes so much harder to play with black. Because now, I'm just going to keep on placing an eye. I have to keep on placing an eye on the f7 pawn, and then it just gets really annoying. I want my rook to be involved in the game, not just sitting back, right? So I played rook d8, stopping bishop d5, played rook d5, the bishop maneuver, g6, rook d5, takes. If you played rook f3, I had knight d1 there, and I really just did not see anything after this. So he probably thought the same as well. So you went rook d5, which is actually what the engine wants as well. Takes, knight d3. I took with knight. I almost took with the bishop and blundered, actually. Bishop takes would have been a huge blunder after bishop c4. But luckily, I stopped myself. I was like, oh shoot, bishop c4. And I didn't lose this. I brought my bishop back, blockade the pawn. I brought my king forward to stop his king from getting in. And I maneuvered my knight in a way that pressured the pawn, while also keeping the king away. And then I bring my king forward, and he can't really do anything. Like if he plays like here, my king can come here and his pawn is just gone. Bishop here, bishop here, pawn's just gone. So yeah, there wasn't a way to defend that, and he lost there. So a pretty good game, and yeah, let's move on to the final game. Our final game, playing with the black pieces once again. Let's see, flip the board. This game, let's just not spoil it. c5, c4, e6, takes, queen's gambit, queen b3. I played b6 here. I didn't really want to trade the queens because I was kind of scared of this. It was probably equal, but I just didn't really like the double pawns, even though this opens up the rook. Felt like this was really weak. So I instead played b6. I'm wondering if b5 is a good move. I was wondering if there was any sacrifices, because I was kind of scared of bishop takes, if queen takes, get some weird sacrifices. I was a little scared of something like this, but apparently, yeah, bishop b4, I had enough counterplay. Yeah, I just have enough counterplay here, so b5 did work. I was contemplating b5, but I was like, it's a little too aggressive and might be some tactics involved, so I went for the safe b6, and normal development happened. Here I played knight e4. I played knight e4 because I kind of didn't like my position. The position was kind of aiming for a setup like this. Oh my god. I'm just gonna make some random moves, but I really do not like playing with these structures. I forgot what this structure is called again. I think it's it's a hanging pawn structure. I do not like this hanging pawn structure style, where white has this file, but black essentially has the center. I do not like playing these positions with black, because I just feel like it's a little bit annoying, especially since white's rooks are directly pointed towards you. So yeah, I was long down the line, I'm going to get a setup like that, and it's not going to be comfortable to play. So why not just trade all these pieces at once and, just get that over with. Now I have easy development, like so, and I can aim for getting a quick c5 and something like that. He played knight d2, knight d7, rook c1, and c5. Now here he surprised me with queen a3, because I just thought, okay, that doesn't really do anything though. My knight's still guarding the pawn, and I have queen g5. And all of a sudden, I felt like my next couple of moves were easy. I somehow bring my rooks to the center. Oh my god. I somehow bring my rooks to the center maybe, or I take, and I bring my knight in, I bring my rooks in, maybe even do a rook lift, and it was just looking really strong. Seemed to be attack brewing. Rook d1, I took, knight f6, knight f1, and I was really pissed off when he saw knight f1. Knight f1, really good move by him, allowing the queen to swing over, potentially trade. The knight can plop itself on e3, and really good move. Knight d5, I wanted to stop the pawn from advancing, as well as bring my knight into the game. He played knight g3. I played bishop g6, played bishop c4. And here, Engine says I have e3. Which I did not... I don't know how I didn't see this. Honestly. Still equal though, but still. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't see e3. I played knight f4 though. Queen e3, here I played h5, and here he played the annoying bishop f1, and at this moment I was just like, damn, my attack really did not work out. Like, I need to do some defending now, because now, guess what, my pawn's under attack, his pawn has like a straight path towards heaven, and like, I don't really know where my attack is. Queen h4, I have no attack. All white's moves are going to be aggressive from now on, so I really did not know how I was going to survive this. I knew that I had to trade off some pieces though. Rook e8, I played rook e8 defending this pawn. I knew that he was going to play knight e2, trading that, so I traded, and then I made the correct decision and went to d5. Now, if I had took, I was scared. I was dead scared. I was like, here, he's going to play like, I don't even know. I mean, he always has some like annoying bishop moves. Like the first thing I was scared of is like something like bishop a6. I'm forced to trade now. I don't get the open file, and he has a passed pawn. So that was like one thing I was already scared of. In addition, my bishop sucks. He really just has the easy idea of bringing his king in as well. He just has like a really simple plan. Like just bring the king in that way, bring the king in this way. So I really did not like that. And instead, I went to d5, which was correct. Bishop c4, queen d6, bishop back, opening up the rook. I counteracted his rook. He played rook c3, very smart move. And here I was like, if I take, now this pawn kind of has a part. And I saw that I had b5, then a4, which takes. And it just seems really scary. I really did not see anything after b5. Like, he's eventually going to play a4, break through the b5 pawn, and have the open a file, and he kind of just controls the game after that. So I was like a little scared of that. So I decided to play a little bishop f5. The whole point of bishop f5 was that I needed this bishop to actually do something. This bishop was really doing nothing. Maybe it wants to counteract the bishop. Maybe it just wants to, drop back, get to a better diagonal, something like that. And also bishop g4 as well, which you'll see later. Queen g5, and I played bishop g4. Already here, I had to be really careful of my moves, because if I played rook take, he had bishop takes f7. King takes, king back takes, white is up a pawn, and probably going to win the game. So I saw this, I did not like it. I played bishop g4, rook c1, queen takes d4, rook takes, traded all the pieces, and yeah, this is just a drawn endgame at the end of the day. And then, yeah, I bring the king. And right around here, I potentially had chances. Like, so what I was trying to do here, as I saw that his bishop was like kind of trapped in the corner. So I played bishop d7 first of all to stop it from escaping from c6. And then I played b5, stopping it from escaping on a6. And then here I was contemplating king c5. And I was wondering, okay, he's probably going to play here. If I chase it, the bishop escapes. And I was wondering, does this work? Does white have enough time to get this pawn and potentially win? And apparently the answer is no. Apparently this endgame is actually winning for black, which I did not see at all in the game. I thought this was completely lost for black, but apparently after f4, what the hell? How is this winning? How? Alright, wait. No, bishop e8. Yet bishop g6. Well, I didn't see that. Yeah, I did not see that. Yeah, I did not see that at all. I played b4 instead. I'm trying to fix these pawns on light squares so that my light square bishop might get them in the future. b8, and then we just repeat it here. Now, I'm wondering, there was one last chance for me to actually do something. So, I don't know where it was. It was right around... Yeah, it was a5, bishop a6, here, bishop e5. Let's see what the engine suggests. a4 now, okay. Maybe I should have gone for this, but yeah, overall, nah. I didn't go for this. But yeah, that guy played 97%, I played 96%. Overall, pretty good tournament, about 2.5 out of 3. Yep.